Initiative of Nigeria, ICIN, Country Women Association of Nigeria, COWAN, and Building Relationship in City Centers, BRICC, with support from European Union through British Council Act program. The project aims to address the challenges being experienced as a result of bad governance, insecurity, and lack of inclusive engagement with right holders, especially women and other vulnerable groups, to enhance peaceful coexistence and sustainable development in the targeted communities. This initiative will provide capacity building for selected community members in 6 targeted communities of Kanke, Kanam, and Mangu local government of Plateau State.
Very good morning to listener over there. Welcome to this maiden edition, like you have heard from those jingle. It's a program called the Community Engagement for Good Governance. And this program will be, by the grace of God, it will run for the next 13 weeks. Today in the program, in the maiden edition of the program, we are doing an introduction of the program, and then we have guests that are going to be talking to us or introducing this program to us. We have Sadiq Garba Hassan. He is the lead coordinator, BRICS, and BRICS stands for Building Relationship in City Centers. Mr. Sadiq, Barkadezwa.
Good morning, viewers.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to be doing here. We're going to be very flexible as far as language is concerned, because we are particularly concerned about people at the grassroots, since this community engagement has to do with them. So we are going to be speaking English and at the same time also speaking Hausa for the benefits of those that and cannot understand English. Mr. Sadiq, welcome.
Thank you, listeners, once again.
We also have Mr. Felix Dimka. He is the M&E officer of JDPC. He will be joining us shortly. But before then, we have Mr. Sadiq, of course, that is going to tell us a little bit about the whole program, Community Engagement for Good Governance. Madam Sadiq.
Once again, good morning, listeners. Community Engagement for Good Governance is an EU art project with the British Council, and it is the Community Engagement for Good Governance is looking at how we're going to engage communities through good governance gradually in their communities, because this project was brought out of necessity based on the research made by our funders, which is the EU and the British Council. And a flat off for the project, we are going to work. We are working with 3 local governments at present, which is Mangu, Kanke, and Kanam local government. And in the 3 local government areas, we are working with 2 communities each in each of the local government. In Mangu, we are working in Mangu district and also Keren district. In Kanke local government, we are working in Kabir and Ampere district. And in Kanam, we are working in Kanam district, Angar. These are the 6 communities through the 3 local government that this project is flagging up that we are working on presently. We are already at the first quarter of the project, and we have already engaged, and we are building and sensitizing the communities in how they should give their own engagement through good governance. One of the key goals for this project is for us to enhance good governance in inclusive, peaceful communities. This is one of the goals of the project. We are looking at how to be able to engage communities, citizens in their various communities, how they are going to hold their duty bearers responsible for the issue of good governance.
Okay. So let's delve into, some questions here. When you say community engagement, what do you really mean?
What we mean by community engagement, what role will the community will play in times of good governance. Okay. I think that is all about in a lot of communities based on the research that was made. A lot of communities are not even aware of their rights towards the duty bearers, the government, and also other government agency. They didn't know their role or their right towards that. And we want to also engage them that also the government have the rights over the communities in also maintaining or also keeping their communities in the standard way where the government was expected. So I think we need, by and large, the communities were expected also to engage the government, and the government should also engage the communities. So one of the key roles of the project is for us to increase the stakeholders' demand for good governance and good governance and strengthen social cohesion. It will also empower women, youth, and other vulnerable groups. Just like in most instances, the government or at the community level, there are key stakeholders that were left away in the issue of governance, particularly like people with disability and the rest of it.
Okay, I was about to ask why is community engagement important, and I heard that you said some things, but maybe for emphasis, could you maybe bring them out again? Why is community engagement important?
I think why is community engagement is quite important. We are now talking about good governance. So how can we have good governance without the community engagement? So the community should engage the government, and also based on knowing that these are some of their rights, these are some of the things that the government is supposed to provide for them as their right. They should engage the government when the government failed to supply those demands for them. And also the government, once the government knows that the community knows their rights and they have had their own part of engagement towards the good governance, I think the government will also come back to the community to demand for also maintenance and also good relationship between the government and the community people. Also, like duty bearers, particularly those elected officers, you have rights when you elected an officer and he's not doing the right thing or what he has promised during election to do for you, and there are process for that. So one of the key things that we have engaged the community in, we are building their capacity, just like for instance now, the first project that was done for this community engagement is for us to advocacy for right-based approach. We have trained and built the capacity of the community and stakeholders on advocacy and based right approach. We have also engaged them on issue of gender and social inclusion, and we are now also looking at participatory in leadership. So all these things that we have other subsequent training that are coming, but this three has already been done to the communities, and I know that the communities have even started giving out results on those projects. Result in the sense that like in Mangu, presently now in Mangu, we can see that the feedback we have from the community that they have paid an advocacy visit to one of the banks in Mangu, where there are a lot of potholes by the main road close to the bank, and they pay an advocacy right-based approach to the bank manager in Mangu local government, and they have an understanding on how those potholes are going to be reconstructed. These are some of the good figures that we have from the community. Okay,
that's it goes a long way to show how important advocacy or community engagement, can go in helping the government as a whole, and then the community particularly. We want to welcome Felix Dimka. You are welcome to this program. You are the M&E officer for JDPC.
Yes, thank you.
Happy to have you. We've been talking about good governance, and Mala Ishak has been able to give us a lot about what good governance is all about. We want to hear from an M&E to tell us what are the advocacies that probably you also in your parts probably also engage in these three communities that he mentioned. What are the things that you people have been able to achieve?
Well, let me just narrow it down to the last activity we had, which is the monitoring of the project in the three local governments of Mangu, Kanke, and Kanam local government. Some of the feedbacks we were able to get from the participants of the project. One key outstanding activity that one of the key benefits that we derive from the program is in Kanam local government, whereby one of the participants is a officer with the Nigerian Civil Defense NSCDC.
Yes.
Yeah, where he was able to advocate to their office, whereby the department was set up. The department was set up on gender-based violence. Yes, whereby a desk officer was assigned, so that issues of gender-based violence within that community can be addressed. And while in other communities, like in Kanke, some of the participants were able to share with us what they were able to do in the community back at home, whereby they share with their colleagues and also with some of the people within the community on the importance of engagement and participating in issues of governance in their community.
So how would you say is a success? Can you really say, by your outing or by the outing of the whole community engagement governance team as a whole, would you say that you are seeing progress and, maybe in the near future you could achieve what the whole program is all about?
Well, yeah, we are just getting started. Yeah. We're just getting started, just some few months into the program. But so far, based on the programs we have and the activities we've carried out, we are able to engage the community members on issues of demanding good governance from their duty bearers, most especially those who represented them in governance, whereby they were able to enlighten on how to develop charter of demands, because now we are facing 2023 election, so whereby during campaigns now they can be able to present what they need in the community to the politicians. Unlike the case was previously, whereby the politicians decide what to do for the community. But this time around we want to see a situation whereby we have a shift. There should be a change now, whereby community people will present what their needs are to the politicians before the election, so that eventually, if you are in the office, tomorrow you come, we say, okay, well, we've signed this was the agreement we had before the election, whereby they can hold them accountable, and then they can demand for better governance from the politicians.
Okay. So we're going to take a short break, and, just to enable us catch breath. And when we return, we are going to take the second part of this program. Please stay tuned.
Aikin raya al'ummarmu domin ingantacciyar gwamnati aiki ne wanda JDPC EU Act ta kirkiro, wanda ya kunshi kungiyoyi 4 wanda suke a cikin ƙwaryar jihar Plateau a Najeriya. Su ne Social Justice and Human Development for Peace Initiative, JDPC, Islamic Counseling Initiative of Nigeria, ICIN, Country Women Association of Nigeria, COWAN, da kuma Building Relationship in City Centers, BRICC, tare da samun taimako daga kungiyar haɗin kan tarayyar Turai a ƙarƙashin Majalisar Burtaniya. Manufofin wannan haɗin kai shine domin magance ƙalubalonin da ake fuskanta wurin gwamnati mara adalci, taɓarɓarewar tsaro da kuma rashin bawa waɗanda suka kamata dama, musamman mata, da kuma wasu muhimman ƙungiyoyi da kan iya kawo dangantaka ta lumana tare da dawwammamen ci gaba a wuraren da aka yi niyya. Wannan ƙudirin zai kawo ingantaccen ci gaba a wuraren da aka zaɓa cikin al'ummarmu a ɓangarori 6 da aka nufa a yankin ƙananan hukumomin Kanke, Kanam da kuma Mangu a jihar Plateau, Najeriya.
You're welcome back. This is community engagement for good governance, and we have some guests here. We have Malam Sadiq Garba Hassan, and then we also have Felix Dimka. You're welcome once more to the program.
Thank you, listeners.
Yeah. Thank you, listeners. Okay, we have been talking about community engagement, and you have heard all the things that our guests have said, and we want to know, you came together to bring, a lot of things. I'm sure there are to make sure that things are being implemented or things are being done correctly. We want to know who are those implementing partners, who are those engaged. What do you think you want to achieve as far as this whole program or project is concerned?
Once again, thank you for the opportunity. This project was brought to you and sponsored by the EU Arts, the British Council. They are the funders for this project, and this project is being implemented as a consortium team. The 4 organizations has come as the consortium partners to implement this project. So we have a leadership in the consortium. JDPC are the one taking out the lead, and we have ISIN. They are a member of the consortium. We also have CONSORTIUM. They are also a member of the consortium, and BRIC. So these are the 4 organizations that came into place in order to implement this project. For the next 6 months already, we are in the first quarter of the project. I think we still have about 3 months plus for us to round this project. But these are the key 3 or 4 organizations that are implementing this project as a consortium team, with the leadership of the consortium, which is JDPC, are taking the lead for this project, and it's being sponsored and funded by the EU and the British Council.
Okay, the JDPC, ISIN, one, and then BRIC.
Yeah.
Okay, but what do you aim, or what do you hope to achieve bringing this program on board?
I think in summary, we are trying, just as my colleague has said, Felix, that what we are targeting and how the communities can hold their duty bearers responsible on issue of good governance. Most of the times, these duty bearers will come to the community, promise them a lot of things before the election, and maybe after the election, they seems to disappear, and even the communities does not know how best they can advocate their duty bearers in some of these promises that were made by them. So one of the key things that what we are trying to achieve is for us to sensitize, do some capacity building, engage the communities on some of the best way on how they are going to engage their duty bearers based on the issue of good governance.
Okay. So in the next weeks, we are going to be, like I told our viewers, our audience, that we're going to be engaged in the next 13 weeks.
Yes.
And a lot of other things will be, are the things that we're going to be having on this program. We're even going to be fortunate to have people at the grassroots that are going to come. And like I said, we are at liberty in the language we use, both Hausa and English, because of course we have people that are down there that need to understand what we're talking about. Sure. So we're going to give this opportunity also, Mr. Sadiq, to please, can you briefly tell us what this program is all about in Hausa, so that our listeners at the other end will be able to benefit from and to know that a program like this for them is on board.
To masu sauraron mu barka da warhaka, kamar yadda aka yi bayani, shi wannan gudunmawa ta aiki da aka kawo wa al'umma, an kawo shi wa al'umma ce al'ummance, wato a cikin garurukanmu da angoninmu. Shi wannan program gudunmawa ce wanda su EU da British Council suka kawo, kamar yadda muka yi magana daga farko. Wannan aiki akwai organization guda 4 da suke wannan aiki a local government guda 4, a local government na Mangu, a local government guda 3, local government na Mangu, local government na Kanke da kuma na Kanam. Kuma a cikin wayannan local government muna aiki a cikin communities guda biyu. Kamar a Mangu muna aiki a Keran, muna aiki a cikin Mangu, Kanke muna aiki a Kabir, muna aiki a Ampere, sannan a Dangi muna aiki a Dangi, muna aiki kuma a cikin Gar. So wayannan su ne hukumomi guda 3 da muke aiki a ciki. Kuma wannan aiki muna kokari ne mu wayar da kan al'umma a cikin communities nasu, su gane menene nasu gudunmuwan da za su bayar bisa ga samun jagoranci na gwamnati mai kyau, kyakkyawan jagoranci wa gwamnati. Suna da haƙƙi akan gwamnati, kuma gwamnati tana da haƙƙi a kansu. Wani lokaci mutane, al'umma ba su san hanyoyin da ya kamata su bi na neman hakkokinsu ba. A wani lokaci za ga al'umma suna neman haƙƙi sai su bi ta hanyoyin da bai dace ba, hanyoyi na faɗa ko kuma hanyoyi na tarzoma. So wannan shi aiki, wannan project da waɗannan wayannan mutane da ƙungiyoyi da suka kawo shi sun kawo ne don a wayar da kai akwai hanyoyi wanda ba na tashin hankali ba wanda mutane za su nemo hakokinsu kuma su ba da gudunmawa nasu kamar yadda muka yi bayani a yanzu a take kamar yadda shi a colleague ɗina ya yi bayani cewa zai magana akan training da muka yi na ƙarshe wa waɗannan garurruka don neman hakinsu a wajen gwamnati zan a samu gwamnati tsabtataccen gwamnati mai kyau kamar yadda ya bayani mun yi musu wayars da kai da training na farko akan advocacy based right approach wato hanyoyi da suka dace na neman hakokinku a wajen hukumomi da gwamnati don ba mu tsaya akan gwamnati ba hatta hukumomi a'a bankuna ne a'a kamfani ne suna wajen ku akwai hakkin ku a kansu akwai hakkin su a kanku mun yi wannan a na farko sannan abu na biyu mun yi akan maganan gender and social inclusion wato gudunmawa ko kuma jawo mata da mutanen da suke da nakasa su ma a cikin al'umma kuma don suna da haƙƙi su ma su ba da nasu gudunmawa so wayannan yana ɗaya daga cikin abubuwan wanda muka so mu gabatarwa muka musu training akai muka musu wayars da kai akai cewa ga za a yi kuma mun so ganin hasken wannan abun tunda kamar yanda na faɗa akwai mutane yanda abokin aiki na ya faɗa ga wani abun da wani member na civil defense ya yi sannan kuma mutane a Mangu committee da muka sa muka musu wannan training din har sun je wannan advocacy rights approach din sun je advocacy wajen shi manaja na banki da yake cikin garin Mangu akwai hanyoyi da suka lalace potholes akan kwalta a gaban banki bata damu ta zo ta gyara kwaltan ba suna jiran gwamnati ta zo ta yi saboda haka wayannan training da muka yi har ya so mu haifar da ɗa mai ido tunda har sun je sun samu banki sun ce ya za a yi ga hanya ta lalace a gaban office ɗin ku kuna jiran gwamnati bata zo ba kuma kuna da gudunmawa da za ku dinga ba wa gwamnati tunda kowa yana da haƙƙi akan wannan abu.
So, Mongode, that is, just a brief summary of the whole thing in Hausa language. That's to tell you that we're carrying everybody along. Those that only can understand Hausa and those that, of course, understand English and, of course, also understand Hausa. I wanted to make Felix also speak Hausa. But that is the whole idea of the whole program, just to make you out there, especially in the community, to know that you have what it takes to really, we really have to put our hands together, to make sure that we have good governance. We will not sit back and keep complaining about government. I think that's the main issue here. We have things to do, like he was trying to say. Maybe subsequently we'll be looking at a lot of things, over the weeks that are coming, over some other things that will be introducing or asking more questions on how you could, part of the things that Felix talked about. Yeah, but for today we're doing an introduction, and of course we have gone a long way in introducing. They've been able to tell us what community engagement is all about and why we've been trying, and what is the thing, what's the aim to achieve at the end of the day. Maybe you could say that again, maybe just to recap, what truly are we trying to achieve by this advocacy?
Okay, well, our main target is to reawaken in the minds of the people in the community that they should understand that issues of governance is not all about allowing some selected individuals to be running the show for them. They have a role to play. They have a role to contribute as well in the issues of governance. So that's why we are trying to see that we sensitize the people, we are awakening them so that they will know their role as key actors in issues of governance, not just relaxing it and allowing it as always. It's just government, you understand? But then when we engage the people like that at the community level, whereby they become aware of their right, they know the power they have, they know what they can do, they know the force they can bring, the change they can initiate for their community. So by doing that, by building their capacity in different areas, like he rightly mentioned, we've trained them on advocacy right-based approach to issues that concerns them. We've trained them on gender-based violence, conflict transformation, and peace building. And we've also just last week, we trained them on leadership and participatory governance. So that's why we, and in the coming weeks and months to come, we will still continue to build their capacity as well, so that they will have what it takes and they know the right channels to follow to demand for better governance and to also initiate activities within the community that can give them a better community and also to bring success to their communities.
Knowledge, they say, is power.
Yeah.
If they have the knowledge, they will be able to implement a lot of things. Your last words, please.
I think just based on what he has overview said, the issue is that at the community level, they didn't know that they have the power, they have the strength to change a government and also to checkmate the activity of government based on the promises that was given to them. So this is a kind of sensitization awareness for the community level to know that you have a role to play, you have the power to do this. And I have seen it getting a result. And with the coming more weeks, just as he said, there are other training that are coming. Since this program is going to take us in the next, for the next 13 weeks that we're going to be on air to be mentioning some of the programs we are doing, even bringing out those stakeholders from the community to come and testify what they have benefited and the success story from this project. So once again, I hope that the communities that are listening to us, we want them to continue giving us the support and cooperation they have been giving us so far, so good since the start of the project up to now. Thank you.
I want to thank Malam Sadiq Garba for coming, and I also want to thank Felix Dimka for also, participating in the program, and also want to thank our listeners for coming also to listen, so to say. Sure. They're always there, to listen to us. This is Community Engagement for Good Governance. We're going to be on air next week, God's willing. My name is Rabi Gang.
Community Engagement for Good Governance project is a project being implemented by JDPC EU Act Consortium, made up of 4 organizations based in Plateau State, Nigeria, namely Social Justice and Human Development for Initiative for Peace, JDPC, Islamic Counseling Initiative of Nigeria, ICIN, Country Women Association of Nigeria, CONSORTIum, and Building Relationship in City Centers, BRICC, with support from European Union through British Council Act program. The project aims to address the challenges being experienced as a result of bad governance, insecurity, and lack of inclusive engagement with right holders, especially women and other vulnerable groups, to enhance peaceful coexistence and sustainable development in the targeted communities. This initiative will provide capacity building for selected community members in 6 targeted communities of Kanke, Kanam, and Mangu local government of Plateau State.